27th, 28th birthday, Celtics win. Jets, who need to have more fun, are favored by a touchdown over the soft Patriots in Foxborough on Sunday. Last matchup was a 24-3 Thursday night trouncing. It was also the last win for the Jets. So, Nick, do the Jets deserve to be 7-point favorites?
What do I think about the Jets, Wilds? That they're what? A bad
frauds?
Team. A bad Panthers. That they're 2-5 because they're a 2-5 caliber team.
Yeah.
And that they've been massively overrated by the media at large. With that said, of course they deserve to be 7-point favorites.
I mean,
they're
23 last time.
They're playing
24-3.
One of the clear-cut worst team in the AFC, and would be clear-cut worst team in football, but the Panthers have earned that title through hard work and dedication. I mean, the Patriots. So it's, to me, this is less about the Jets, sorry, KW, and more about the Patriots, which is, we can show you the numbers, they're just bad at everything. And I know folks swore the defense was going to be good, but it wasn't, and it's not. And everyone knew the offense would be bad, and somehow it's a little worse. They haven't scored more than 21 all season. The other two teams had quarterback injuries, and Cleveland had the worst quarterback in the league until he got hurt. So, I mean, yeah, they do sadly deserve to be 7-point favorites.
Wow. What a turn of events. I think the Jets will win, but I don't think they should be favored by 7. I mean,
they probably only have to score 10.
They have, well, look, the Patriots have a shot in the arm with Drake May, who's really been good. And I would imagine the energy in that locker room, especially on the offense, has risen. The coach, we'll see what this means, but he called them out as soft, and they admitted he's right. We've been playing soft. And so they're going to come out and try, harder. And so we'll see what that is. But the Jets, too, look, I would be shocked if the Jets don't win. I just don't think going into New England that they should be 7-point favorites when they haven't showed us a thing in the last 4 weeks. And New England actually has the best win of the two teams.
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets wins are.
No, that's true. Over New England.
Tennessee, and New England at least beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brew. The Jets can't score either. Like, we want to make it seem like the Jets are putting up record-breaking numbers.
No, but they blew the Patriots out.
That's because they got Jacoby Brissett. He gets hurt in that game. I doubt if your rookie was even ready to play or they had any type of game plan to surround and support him with. So, and in that game, we said the Jets look like they look the best that they've ever looked.
Yeah, and they're going to do that again.
No, it's not going to happen again.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I don't believe that they should be 7-point. They got so much that they're trying to figure out. Right. They're going to try to run the ball. They're going to try to get the ball to Devontae, get the ball to Garrett Wilson. Aaron, can he even do it still?
Yep.
We don't know.
They're going to try to have fun.
I love the soft thing. Or you hate the way people have reacted to it?
This might sound conceited.
Simpson stars.
Welcome back to the show. Devontae's Jets debut stat line: 3 catches, 30 yards, and several pointed critiques of the Jets' team unity and celebration routine, specifically after this Breece Hall run. Here's Devontae's critiques and Rodgers' reaction. Take a listen.
I had reservations about speaking up too early and being too vocal too early, but I felt like, in my mind I said F that because I need to, we don't have time, and I got to do whatever I got to do to help this team move forward. And lacking energy, that's a prerequisite to be able to go out there and have a good year or have a good play. This team being so talented on the, roster-wise, it's just a waste to have everybody out there and, to have a dead sideline like that. Breece catch a ball and go 60, and we can't feed off none of the energy.
Paraphrase without using any French, I thought it was the realest speech I'd ever heard in a locker room in 20 years.
Wow. That's high praise.
Reaction. Well, I credit to Devontae Adams for doing that. And he prefaced it, when he started by saying, look, I know I just got here and all that stuff. So I credit him. That's leadership. The problem is the reason they may be so listless and lack so much energy might be his buddy, Aaron Rodgers. Because all the reports, whether it's true, I'm not in their locker room, but the reports are that the players, especially the defensive players, really liked Robert Saleh. Like Sauce Gardner said, we're doing this like playing the rest of the season for Salah.
Yeah, that was odd.
But they seem to have liked him. So if they like Salah, feel he was doing a good job, and on his side of the ball, I know he's the head coach, but his side of the ball was doing his job. Then the superstar comes in, and if they feel like he got him fired, which a lot of people feel like, we don't know the truth, but to feel like Rodgers got Salah fired, that can dampen the spirit in a locker room. Mm-hmm. If you feel like this dude didn't deserve it, we loved him or liked him, and he got him fired, and he's not even playing well. It's hard for players, and Greg, you can speak to this better than me, but from my experience as a reporter, it's hard for players to play with a teammate that they feel runs the organization. LeBron used to get some criticism for this, like because he has so much power. When players feel like he could cut me, he could trade me, that's tough. LeBron was able to lead teams to the finals, but Aaron Rodgers is looking washed. And so that, I think that can dampen a team's spirit. So that might be the reason they don't have energy.
Yeah, I think you're spot on as it pertains to Devontae and the things that he said. Like, I love that he said something. I'm glad he didn't just sit back and just watch it. It's kind of it's one of those moments where you have to go back to when he was very successful as a not just an individual, but even as a player on a good team. And that was in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. And so you kind of compare where you've been and the experiences of where you've been. The one thing that I will say about him speaking up and why he probably has the ear already of almost everyone in that locker room is because of what he's been able to do in this league, and he's a fresh, new voice with different perspectives they will listen to. And they probably know if there's one person in this building that can hold the other guy, number 8, accountable because of respect, it's Devontae. So it's not that he can just say this because of what is not happening for all individuals excluding Aaron Rodgers. It is including Aaron Rodgers. Like, we got to be better. Yep. And he understands, like, when you are in the locker room, you can't remove yourself from being a part of the locker room. And what I mean by that is sometimes even with LeBron, he would say, you know, my guys, they got to do this, and he would almost like exclude himself. But when you have a guy who is highly revered in the locker room and outside of the locker room as one of the better players in the league that can hold himself to the fire, and I think Devontae is that type of a guy, and we hear it from Aaron, but we don't really feel it.
Oh. So I understand that. I guess I have a very different perspective on this than Brew and Greg. First one, I don't feel like the Jets are a team. I feel like there's two teams. There's the Jets and then there's the former Packers. And that's how they're discussed, and that's the way. And when Aaron's talking about we've done it before, and by we I mean me, Devontae, and Lazard, when Devontae, 5 days after getting there, has his Al Pacino speech, and Aaron Rodgers then says, best speech I've ever heard, I do wonder how the people who aren't Aaron's crew, that lands with all of them. Mm-hmm. I also know, and maybe this is my own flaws, but if I don't want to be lectured by someone that just got here. I don't. And I will use a.
I don't think you want to be lectured by anybody.
No, but I will use me and KW right now, if we may.
Oh, geez.
So
you warned me about.
I did. I told him before, and I was like, I'm gonna tell a story. There is.
Oh wow.
At this moment, Wilds is maybe the #1 draft pick of people I will listen to advice on television stuff from. I've always known he was smart about it. We've worked together for years now. I have massive respect for his opinions on things.
Go sideways in a
Okay?
second.
4 days after Wilds joined the show, pre-pandemic, you weren't a full-time. We were in the old building in the mornings. It's a Friday after. Wilds had done 4 shows. And Wilds is holding court in the conference room, explaining how we're going to fix the ratings of the first half hour. And I lost my mind. And he saw it, and he was like, "What do you?" I was like, and I was like, "I'm worried about tomorrow's show." And he was like, "Well, I'm trying to." He goes, "That's the quote was, that's easy. Let's think bigger picture." And I flipped out because I was like, even if everything he was saying was smart and correct, which it was, I was like, man, I've been getting up at 3:30 in the morning for 3 years doing this. And if I'm in that Jets locker room and I'm like, man, I've been dealing with this nonsense, this organization, since I was drafted.
Hey,
Devontae, you got here 4 days ago, and now you're
losing streak.
screaming at us, even if it's the right message. If there's anyone on that team like me, which maybe there isn't, I can't imagine everyone's like, yep,
But so what do you want to do? Like, I obviously I agree with my own self.
Yes,
Also in that story, I am Devontae Adams. You're Aaron Rodgers. No, you're not.
No, I'm not Aaron Rodgers.
You're just some guy.
Yeah, I'm Sauce. I'm Sauce. I'm like, damn it.
I think you're Braylon Allen.
The question. So I agree with it. Specifically, just to talk about the literal point he was making, Greg. Before Bill Belichick